Okay, so welcome again, everyone, on this holiday Monday to another online math class. We are doing statistics, however, we are starting off with an icebreaker of question 4, January 2025. So let's begin. So the first question is the line segment joins the point -5672. Calculate the midpoint of the line segment. Calculate the midpoint of the line segment. So the first thing you have to remember is how to find midpoint. So anybody could check back in their notes. Let me know how to find midpoint, please.
So bracket x1 plus x2 below.
Divided by, it's midpoint, so it's divided.
Then y2 plus y1 or the other way, because that's how I have it in a look.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Divided by
2.
Divided by 2. Right. Thank you. Right. So you're sending that to taking a picture, send to my WhatsApp. If you can't send it to my WhatsApp, then you send it to the Zoom chat. I just want to see how you're stating down your questions. That's all. That's what I'm asking for. You're sending it to my WhatsApp. All right, so you could choose which one you want to be X1, which one you choose. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. All right, so if this one is X1, Y1, it's an X and a Y value, X2, Y2. It doesn't matter. You're supposed to end up with the same answer. So send it to my All right, so let's see. I'm seeing people sending this stuff. Shania was the first. Shania, that is correct. Oh, no. Yes. That's correct, Shania. And it's stated down well. Yedaya, correct. Don't forget your brackets, but that's correct. Garcia. Garcia, that's correct. Kiara, that's correct.
So
Listening, Jedediah.
I sent mine in the chat, but I don't know which one to send it to because I'm not seeing teacher.
Oh, okay. I'll just change quickly. Sorry. All right. There's a little error there, Jedediah, but we'll come to it. Check over your work. Check over your work. Make sure you have the correct thing. Deandra, check over your work as well. Or use a calculator. People, it's time that you start purchasing a good calculator that you're going to use next year. All right. It's time to get a good calculator. Because by January next year, you are supposed to be ready for CXC. All right. By January next year, you are supposed to be ready for CXC. So you need to get a calculator. Right. So Deandra, there was a little mistake though. Kimora, Tyrese, I didn't see any work from you or Jenny. So Jenny, let me just write this a little bigger so you could see because you won't.
So,
Yeah.
you don't have WhatsApp, so I'll send this in the chat to you.
Kimora? Okay, just now. Hold on. Could you send it over to teacher? Please. Jenny, I'm going to just do this over. So Jenny, we have 2 points on a line. Point C, which is minus 5, 6, and point D, which is 7, 2. Now, this is called a coordinate, Jenny, with the first value is an X coordinate, like on a graph, and the other one is a Y coordinate. Same thing for point D, X and Y. So because we have 2 points, we're going to call the first one X1, Y1, and the other one X2, Y2. We cannot call it X1, Y2. So don't even think of that, right? This is 1 and 1 alone. But this one is 2 and 2 alone, all right? So the formula for midpoint, you have to learn X1 plus X2 divided by 2. So it's X1, which is negative 5, plus X2, which is 7, divided by 2. Jenny, are you hearing me? Jenny. All right, so let me use the time to look at Kimora. Kimora is 2 points I need. So this point, Kimura, would be my X value. So my Y value would be Y1, which is 6, plus Y2, which is 8 divided by 2. So my minus 5 plus 7, the signs are different, so I subtract. So that's 2. It's positive 2 because the bigger number 7 have a positive sign. So that's 2 on 2. That's how we get 1. 8 on 2 is 4. So my answer for the midpoint of the line is 1 on the X, 4 on the Y. Vinny, you understand that? So this is X, Y. All right, so we had an X value. All right, and we have a Y value. Tyrese, I didn't see any work from you. Was this okay? Did you get this? Tyrese.
Yes, sir.
All right, so it means that you have to work a little faster so you could send your work quickly. Tyrese. Kimura, do you understand? Oh, here she comes. Okay. All right, so let's just wait for Kimura to come in.
Oh, still no error now. Thanks.
Okay, Shadida. I'm glad. Right. So Kimura, you got knocked off. I was talking to you. Can you use your mic, Kimura? Well,
Yes, sir.
right. So you see, you understand what we did? So there are 2 points. There is a X value, which is, so we use an X1 plus X2 divided by 2. And there's a Y value, Y1 plus Y2 divided by 2. So I use this first one as my X1, which is 5, plus my X2 will be 7. So negative 5 plus 7 divided by 2. Minus and a plus, you have to subtract. The signs are different, so you subtract. So you get 2 over 2, which is 1. And Y1 plus Y2, which is 6 plus 2, 8 over 2, which is 4. So Kimura, our midpoint that they asked for is 1, 4. So that's the middle of the line. Everybody okay with that? Well, I'm not getting on to Janae. That's the only thing. Jada, you okay with this? Jada. I'm not hearing you, Jada.
Yes, sir.
All right, because you made a mistake. Janae, you okay with this? Janae is back?
Yes, sir.
Right, because I wasn't hearing you before. So this is called the midpoint of the line, Jenny, and you have to learn the formula. The formula is x1 plus x2, write it down, over 2, and then there's a comma, y1 plus y2 divided by 2. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Everybody wrote this down already. Marcus, you came in a little late. Can I move on, Marcus? Or are you still writing? Marcus. All right, so let's give 2 minutes just in case, Marcus. All right. All right, so let's move on. Vion is still writing. Vion?
Yes, I am.
Are you finished? Everybody's finished writing down?
I am almost finished.
I don't want to spend too long on this. We have to go back to statistics.
I'm done.
Okay. Right, so what I want you all to do as I move to the next question, please remember the 2 points. Point C, write it down in your book. Point C is 5, 6, and point D is 7, 2. All right, 5, 6, negative 5, 6, and 7, 2. So we just found the midpoint on the line. Now we want to find the gradient of the line. Now, anybody remembers what's the formula for gradient?
So y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1.
Yes, thank you, Kiara. So let's write that. So M, which represents gradient. Now, remember, this is coordinate geometry. So we are using y equals to mx plus c. M is called the gradient, and c represents the y-intercept. That is where the line cuts the y-axis, where the line cuts the y-axis. So M is the gradient. This tells the slope of the line, and C is the y-intercept. Or where the line cuts the y-axis. All right, y-intercept, where the line cuts the y-axis. So the gradient is, what did you say? Y what?
y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1.
Good. So just as we did, Jenny, we found the midpoint by saying x1 plus x2 divided by 2 bracket. Right, let me write it. So just as we did x1 plus x2 divided by 2 and y1 plus y2 divided by 2, likewise, we have another formula to learn. So remember, the points were, I'm just going to write it here, C, negative 5 and 6, and D is 7, 2. Oops. So we have x1, y1, x2, y2. Go ahead. Finding the gradient. You're going to use the same means again, please. You're going to send it to my WhatsApp. I want to see a statement. That's why I'm asking for the information on WhatsApp. All right. So I'll give people 2 seconds and then I'll give the answer. So I'm already seeing people sending their answers, which is really good. All right, so Kiara, that's correct. Kiara, that's correct. Shania, correct. Shania, correct. Udaya, correct. Udaya, that's correct. Garcia. Have to rotate your image closer to it. Right, so Garcia, that is Garcia, you have the last value you have is not correct. But everything, all your working is correct, except your last answer. Your last answer. Check it again, Garcia. You made a small error. But CXC would have given you most of the marks, if not all. There are some questions they don't mark, give. Let's see, I can't remember. Yes, CXC might have given you all your marks. All righty. All right, so I am not seeing any work in the chat yet, so let's go back to WhatsApp. Jada simplify that for me, but that's good, it's correct. But just simplify. Tyrese, that's good. Simplify for me, Tyrese. Jenny. Jenny. Once you have two negative values coming together, Jenny, it becomes a positive value. So let's say you have 8 minus 5. This is the same as 8 plus 5. Anytime you have two negative values coming together in sequence, one after the other, directly, the two negatives become a positive. So this is 13. Just giving an example. Because that's why you made a mistake, Jenny. So go back, check your value. Okay, you made a mistake. So the two negative numbers make something positive. So put positive and you'll get your answer. That's Jenny. Vion, simplify. You're on the right track. You're on the right track. Vion, simplify. Yes, right. So, yes, Garcia, now it's correct. So yes, that's correct. So I'm giving people 2 seconds to make the corrections. Marcus, I didn't see anything from you. Kiara, yes, I saw from Kiara. Kimora, I didn't see anything from Kimora. Jedediah, did I see anything from you? Jedediah, Kimora, right? Jedediah, Kimora, quick. Marcus, didn't see anything from you either. Marcus?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you didn't send anything to me. So rapido. All right, so you just have a 10 seconds. No, Tyrese. Check that again. Tyrese. Now you're making the answer wrong. Tyrese, check that, please. That's not correct. All right, so 10 seconds. 9. For those who want to send their answers to me. All right, so I'm in the chat. Jedediah, right. So Jedediah, good. Kimora, correct. Very good, Kimora. Beautiful. Jedediah, very good. But I want you to simplify your answer for me, Jedediah. Jenny, you made a mistake. You made the same mistake Tyrese made, actually. Right? You're right. So that's better. Jenny, you made the same mistake that Tyrese made. Hurry up, Tyrese. Come on, people. You have 10 seconds. Jenny, you have 10 seconds. 9, 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2. And Marcus, no, you made a little mistake. Marcus, you made a little mistake. Look for your mistake quickly as I do the correction. No, Marcus, still made a mistake. All right, so I'm going to do the correction. So those persons, Jenny, you'll see that you made a small error that you didn't correct. So let's go. All right, so the formula is y2. So m is equal to y2, which is 2, minus y1, which is 6, and x2, which is 7, minus, the formula has minus, x1, which is negative 5. Now, what is 2 minus 6? 2 minus 6 is negative 4. All right, it's negative 4 divided by, now this is a little trick, Jenny. Minus and a minus gives a plus. So this is 7 plus 5. And 7 plus 5 is 12. But this here, the error that you all made. Now, 4 into 4 is 1. 4 into 12, 3. This negative sign is still there because there is no other negative sign that cancels. So our answer is negative 1 over 3. Negative 1 over 3. Tyrese, you can't make that mistake, you know. Jenny. All right, so our answer is negative 1 over 3. It's a negative gradient, which means the graph will be drawn this way. All right, the line is drawn this way. It's like a Y. All right, this is a secret. I have to patent this idea. So if it's negative, the gradient is negative. It's like that. If the gradient is positive, the line is drawn this way. So it's like a little Y. This is my Y. This is my Y. And what I'm saying is that it's like a Y. The positive, the negative means the line is drawn this way. The positive gradient. So this has to do with gradient. Let me write that. Negative gradient, the line is drawn this way. Top left, bottom right. Gradient, positive gradient means the line is drawn from top right, bottom left. Okay, like a Y. Don't forget that. You would never hear that in another math class. I created that myself by the help of God. All right, so the gradient is negative a third. I'm giving 10 seconds for people to make their corrections. 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The class is recorded. People, remember, you don't have to go through all the recording. You could click on it and you can fast forward on YouTube what you need to fast forward and get it done. Okay, people? You could fast forward it and get your work done. So, Janae, that was a little error that you made. It's -1/3. Right, Jada, correct. All right, so let's go. Let's go. So I'm just going to delete this part. Now, this is an interesting question. There are 2 parts. There are 3 parts. Let's talk about the 3 parts, right? The 3 parts. The 3 parts. 1, determine the equation. And to find an equation, you must know the gradient. And you must know the y-intercept. The next part that you need to know is the perpendicular line. The perpendicular line means that whatever the gradient was for the first line, all right, so let's call this line CD, all right? We know C was what? -5 and 6. And D was 7, 2. Right? But there's a perpendicular line. Now, we also knew the gradient of the line. We found out the gradient of the line. Let me write it here. M is equal to -1/3. All right? So that's our gradient. So we'll call this M1. Now, to find the gradient of the other line, the perpendicular line means the line is running perpendicular at a right angle to the other line. It's running at a right angle to the other line. So I put in a blue line. And so it's at a right angle. So here is my right angle. Don't draw too good. All right, people, right angle. So, Jenny, you didn't learn this before for perpendicular. Now, for parallel lines, the gradients are the same. But for perpendicular lines, boy, there's a formula for that. So, M2 is equal to, now, the rule says RULE. The rule says, Vion, that for perpendicular lines, the gradients, the product, so product means what? To multi. What does product mean, Jedediah? What does product mean in maths? You learned this in standard 5. Jedediah, what product mean? You all can't leave, you know. Every time you all leave, I call in everybody's name. Jedediah. All right. Deandra, can you tell the class what product means? Multiply. It means multiply. Thank you. So the product for perpendicular lines, the product of their gradients is equal to -1, which means M1 times M2 is equal to -1. Now we already know what M1 is. M1 is -1/3. So, Marcus, what is the gradient, Marcus? Big question to Marcus. All right, Kiara, very good. People writing in the chat, sending information to me. I like that. I really like that. So, Marcus, here's your question. If the gradient of the first line, CD, is -1/3, then the gradient, the perpendicular gradient, M2, would be equal to what, Marcus?
3, sir.
3. 3, man. That's what we're talking about. It's 3 or 3/1 Vion, because this will give me -1. So I'm going to put M2 here equals to 3 people. Hello. I'm going to put M2. Kiara, you're there? Not Kiara, Kimora, because Kiara just sent information to me. Kimora, are you there? Kimora?
Yes, sir.
What was the last thing I said, Kimora?
I don't know. I wasn't in the room before.
Right. And that's the thing about my math class. I'm just asking people. So you have to be paying attention. So Kimora, read the rule, please, on the screen. Kimora. Read the rule on the screen, Kimora. RULE. What is the rule, Kimora?
For perpendicular lines, the product of their gradients is equal to -1.
And if for CD, Kimora, I said the gradient, M, was equal to -1/3. So the gradient of the perpendicular line, when the product must, when we multiply them, we must get -1. Therefore, Kimora, -1/3 times what will give me -1? So what is the gradient of the next line, Kimora? What's the gradient, Vian? Vian, tell her, what is the gradient? Vian, can you open your mic? What is the gradient of the other line, Vian? What is the gradient of the other line, Vion? No, I know when people are paying attention. I really do not appreciate this, right? I really don't appreciate this, right? If M1 is -1/3, what is when we multiply -1/3 by what? Remember I said was the inverse long time. So if it's 1/3, if just turn up, capsize it. Just capsize the number, people. So let's start again. I got the answer from Marcus. He's paying attention. Kimora, Kiara, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Jada, thank you. So Kiara, what is the answer? Now, remember, the gradient is here of one line, the red line, negative a third. So what is the gradient of the other one? Negative a third multiplied by what will give me -1?
So 3/1.
3/1. So what's the gradient of the other line, Vion? What's the gradient of the other line, Vion?
Mhm.
I'm not hearing you.
Mm,
Vion, we just went it through again. Tyrese, what's the gradient of the other line?
3/1.
3/1. So Vion, what is the gradient of the other line? All right, let's move on. How many times to go it over? Negative. It is gradient. The gradient of the red line is -1/3. So I'm asking what is the gradient of the other line? I have the rule right in front of everybody for perpendicular lines. Vion, read the rule. Read the rule, please.
For perpendicular lines, the product of the gradient is equal to 1, -1.
What does product mean?
Multiply.
To multiply. So if the gradient of 1, like I have it here, if the gradient of the first one is -1/3, what is the gradient of the next one? I have it there, you just have to read the screen. If the gradient of this is -1/3, I must multiply. It is what?
3.
3/1, 3 or 3, correct. So it's 3, because when I cancel these off, 3 into 3, 1, 3 into 3, 1, it is -1. All right, Vion, so it's -1. So the gradient is 3. So I have M2, you have to follow people. From the time you go and do something else, you're lost. So M2 is equal to 3. It's that easy. M2. So we know that M2 is equal to 3, the new line, because that means we already know what is the gradient. Right. So let's start all over, people. I'm backing up. For those who may not have paid attention, the last part of the question said, determine the equation of the line. I said equation means you have to find M, the gradient, and C, the y-intercept. Determine the equation of the perpendicular. That was the second thing. I said perpendicular means we already knew what the equation of, you have to follow my cursor because I'm teaching from this little pen. So if you follow the cursor, you know what I'm focusing on. So I said the perpendicular, since we knew what the gradient of the line CD was, which is -1/3, they had asked us to calculate that, then it means that since it's perpendicular and M1 times M2 must be equal to -1, you just flip in. You flip the number. It's negative already, so it has to be positive. So you just flip this, so it will be 3 on 1 or 3. So we know that the perpendicular It's 3. But the last thing we need to know is what is a bisector. A bisector cuts something in half, a line in half. So a bisector cuts a line in half. What did I just say, Shania?
Yes, so the bisector cuts it in half.
Cuts the line in half. What did I just say, Tyrese?
The bisector cuts the line in half.
In half. Janae, what did I just say?
The bisector cuts the line in half.
Very good. Very good. Vion, what did I just say?
A bisector cuts the line in
The bisector cuts the line
half.
in half. Very good. Did we know the coordinate and Yediah? Did we know the coordinate of the bisector? So let's say this is half. Yediah, did we know the coordinates? Let's call that point A. So it's CD by passing through 8. Supposed to cut it in half. I didn't. Let me just push this across a little. Hold on. Let me push this line across a little midway. Yeah. Right. Good. Good. I'll have to erase this, and this. Good. So the bisector cuts the line in half. But here my question to Yediah. Yediah, did we know what the coordinates, what is the coordinates of that midpoint? What was the coordinate of this midpoint here, Yediah? Let's call it A, point A.
-1/2.
It was, no. A coordinate has a X value and a Y value, Yediah.
Oh yeah, sorry, 1 and 4.
Beautiful, beautiful. 1, 4. Because that was the first question they asked. The coordinate of the bisector. So people, if you see a question like this, CXC is not trying to trick you. There's a lot to learn. All right. This is how you prepare for CXC. Now, because you're in Form 4, everything we do in Form 4 is preparation for CXC. All right. So it's 1-4. Right. And that's why this is the best class online. Why? Because you get to see once you pay attention and we pray before we start, God guides us to the right thing. All right. So this is 1-4. This is the coordinate of the midpoint. So this is this midpoint and this blue line. This point is like a point on the blue line. So people, therefore, I'm going to erase this. This is a very, listen carefully. Don't even breathe. Don't even breathe. I don't want you to miss anything now. So on this blue line, we know the gradient of the line, M, which is equal to 3. We know a point on this perpendicular line, we're calling it A, which is 1 and 4. 1 and 4. So remember, that is a X value and a Y value. Keep that in mind. So remember, to find the equation, we must know M. We find that already. And we must know C. We do not know what C is. So here we go. Here we go. Write the equation Y equals to MX plus C. Do we know what M is? Yes, M is 3. Do we know X? Yes, X. So I'm putting bracket because it's M times X. And the bracket means multiply. So 3 times, what is X? X is 1. It's a coordinate. It's a coordinate on this blue line. All right, follow the cursor, people. So therefore, Y is equal to 4. Therefore, you can find out what C is. So I want you to write for me in your books, M is equal to 3, A is equal to 1, 4, XY, Y is equal to MX plus C, 4 no, just my equal sign under my equal sign. 4 is equal to 3 times 1 plus C. I want everybody find for C quickly. Go. You have 10 seconds. Find for C, everybody. Put it right, state it down in your, and once you know what C is, you're going to send to me the equation of the line, Papa. You're going to send to me the equation of the line. So the equation of the line will be written Y equals to M. We know what M is, which is 3 X plus what C is. The equation of your line will be Y equals to M. We know what M is, X plus, and you need to, whatever you calculate C to be. Send it to me now, people. Send it to me. Send it to me. Jada, that's what you got. Ah, Jada, beautiful. Beautiful, Jada, that's correct. You could send it to my WhatsApp, or you could send it to my the chat. It doesn't matter. I'm looking on WhatsApp. No, Shania, you made a mistake. Marcus, that's CS. So you need to give me the equation of the line now. You need to give me the equation of the line. Garcia, let me see what you have. Ah, Garcia, beautiful, beautiful Garcia. That's correct. So it's 2 things you're showing me. Your value for C that you work out, I already started it. I already started the value for C for you. All right. So this is your C. So you need to work out what C is. Look at the cursor. All right, people. Or we're online, so you have to look at the cursor, whatever is moving. Let me put a little red. That little red thing is moving. So I need the equation, and I need, well, once you give me the equation, it will reflect your value for C. No, Tyrese, no. X. We already said X was 1, Tyrese. So you have to put in that 1. 3 times 1. You have to multiply Tyrese. So what is C equal to, Tyrese? Thank you, Udaya. Excellent. Well done. Kiara, very good. That's correct. Keep it coming, people. And if you're not sure, still try it, still do it. The objective, oh boy, our time is running low. And we still have 10 minutes. Oh. But we had a good class. We had a good class. What time is running low? It's 1 hour since class. We still have half an hour to go. But we still have the last part of the question plus V on, right? So you have what C is V on. So you need to give me the equation of the line. Very good, V on. Very good. You need to give me the equation of the line now, V on. Give me the equation of the line. What we need to do after I want to do polygons. It doesn't always come, but I want to do polygons with you all. I saw a little polygon question. It's a little abstract topic, but I will do proportion first and then polygon. Teachers hardly do polygons anymore because it doesn't really come, but sometimes it does. And when it comes, so I want to spend some time, a week or two on polygons after we complete proportions. Shania C is right. So your second answer is correct. Marcus, your answer is correct. Jada, your equation is correct. Marcus, you are correct. Shania, your second. So people, Marcus, Shania, and others, give me the equation of the line. Vion, give me the equation of the line. All right, so people, we have to hurry along because we're down to our last half an hour. So if you look on the screen, watch the cursor, people. I am going to finish up the question. 3 times 1 is 3. So C, I have to take this 3 on the other side. So it's 4 minus 3. So 4 minus 3 is 1. So C, people, is 1. Therefore, the equation of the line, here comes Jedediah. So I just want to go that over. She got knocked off. Right, so Jedediah, you're back. I missed you for a while. Jedediah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Right, so I'm just going to repeat for you what we just... Shania, you don't need to put the 4. You have to put Y. And I'll tell you why shortly. Okay, so Jedediah, we just found what C is. We just completed the so let me just put a line through it so you could see put an arrow. So we did this. Right? So 3 times 1 is 3. So when you take the 3 over, it becomes negative. So 4 minus 3 is 1. So C is 1, Jedediah. Are you okay with that?
Yes, sir.
Right. So if C is 1, what is the equation of the line? Because remember, earlier on I said the equation of a line, you must know M and you must know C. You must know M and you must know C. We already know what M is. So C is 1. So equation of a line, our line, people, is Y equals to 3x plus 1. Now, the M and the C are called constants. They don't change. What are they called, people? Constants. Kimora, they are called constants. So that's why when you're writing the equation of your line, you write Y equal to your constant, X. Don't forget to put your X, people. All right, somebody didn't. So Shania, you write back the Y. You're writing the y. So y is equal to 3x plus 1. 3x plus 1. All right? Anybody? If you're not sure, you could go back to, you could always look at the YouTube recording. Always speed through it, go through it. That's a nice way to remember your math, people. All right, so last question. I'm going to give 10 seconds for anybody who is writing. 10 seconds to anybody who is writing. To just write up. All right. All right. Let's continue. All right, somebody got knocked off. I don't know who it is. And Kimura. All right, so let's go, people. I'm gonna delete this. There's one last question, and then we see how much we could do. We have 20 minutes left. All right. I wanted to finish at 1:45, but another line, AB, is parallel. All right, so there's another line that is parallel to CD and passes through the point 1, 0, 1. Write down the equation of AB. Look at information, Papa. So I'm going to draw it out just to give you an idea. So let's see. This is your y-axis. All right. Your first line passed through 1 like this. The next line passed through, was 1 on the X. C was on the, oh, no, it can't be, it cannot be so low. It had to be, since C was 1, it had to pass through here. Let's push this up a little. Let me use another color. All right. Okay, cool. All right. So they all passing through 1. So this is 1 here. y-axis. Hope everybody looking. I hope everybody's looking. All right, so we just found the equation at this line, the perpendicular line, which was, somebody could just tell me that again, y equal to what? 3x plus 1. And what's the equation of the other one? Y equal to what? Y equal to, what's the equation of the first one? I didn't write it down, I'm just doing it. That's 5x plus 1? No, it's negative a third x plus 1. Yeah. All right, so the equation of this line is negative a third x plus 1. Now, they said, final question, another line AB is parallel. Now, this line here was CD. So let's put C. We know the point C, D. So they drew another line that was parallel to it. All right, so let's just draw the line. Now, question, if the gradient, hear this, listen carefully. Now, to find the equation of a line, we need to know two things. What are the two things, Jenny? To find the gradient of a line, we need to find two things, Jenny. Gradient of line. What are the two things? No. To find the equation of a line, I'm sorry, we need to find two things. What are the two things? Equation of line. What are the two things, Jenny? Deandra, tell them. Hi, Theodora. Like you forgot us this morning, man.
So the y-intercept.
The y-intercept, which is C. And what else?
And the gradient.
And the gradient. Thank you. Now, what is, remember, parallel lines, the gradients are the
Same.
same. So if the gradient for this line was 3, then the gradient for the new line is 3. So we know that one. So m is equal to 3. Now the coordinate of this point, let me write it below, 0, I'm writing it big, 1. So this is 0 on the x. And what is it on the y? What is it on the y?
1 on the y.
1 on the y. And that y, this 1 on the y represent where the line cuts the
Y-intercept.
the y-intercept. So we know our y-intercept C is 1. So everybody, what is the gradient of that? What is the equation of the line? What's the equation of the line, Shania? Vion? Y equal to, what to write? Y equal to? Y equal to, what's the gradient? Y equal to, what's the gradient? What we found the gradient of the new line to be?
3, sir.
3x plus
1.
plus 1. 3x plus 1. So this is what CXC asks. So your answer is y equals to 3x plus 1. All right, so we have 10 minutes. We have 10 minutes. Well, 10 minutes left of our time. So that was good. I think once you paid attention, you understood that. That was a very good question. All right, so let's move on. Now, last class, we learned about the class interval. Last class, we learned about class interval. So, all right. So we learned about class intervals. All right. So, we have one more to do today before we leave. We have all the points to do today before we leave. It would only take about 5 minutes, so I wouldn't keep you beyond 10 o'clock. All right, and it's 5 to 10. 10 to 10. So just going through. I'll try to finish in 5 minutes, actually. Hey, why am I not finding the page? Right, so let's go. Let's say we have a class V1. Let's say V1, we have a class and its frequency, how often an event occurs. Now, just looking at this, I'm just writing it bigger so everybody would see 35 to 39. So this is the first interval or first group. The second group is 40 to 44. The third group, I'm just going to do 5. The third group is 45 to 49. The fourth group, 50 to 54. And the fifth group, let me do 6. After I ask you some question. 55 to 59. Last group, 60 to 64. All right? I should see. They have 12, 8 students wait. So this was wait. All right? They wait. 10, 7, 12, 15. Now the first group, Theodora, represents, we call that the interval, the class interval. It's the first group, right? The second group, let's look at the third group. The third group is a third interval. So let's look at the fourth group, which is 50 to 54. So that means they are looking at 50, 51, 52, 53, and 54. That's what the group comprises. Now, the second thing that we had looked at last day was the class limit. Now, the class limit represents the end values of the interval. So this is called the lower limit. And this is called the upper limit. All right, so quick question, just to verify that people understand what we're doing. Kiara, what is the sixth interval? Kiara, what's the sixth interval?
So 60 to 64.
60 to 64. Tyrese, what is the lower limit of the sixth interval? Tyrese. Tyrese? Jedediah, what is the...
I'm not sure.
Yes, the sixth interval.
60.
Right, the lower limit. You weren't here last class, but I just gave it Tyrese.
No, sir, I wasn't here last class.
Right, so pay attention. I just asked Kiara what was the sixth interval. And the sixth interval, Tyrese, was 60 to 64. And therefore, 60 to 64 consists of the numbers 60 right up to 64. So 60, 61, 62, 63. So Tyrese, the lowest value of your class interval is called your lower limit. Okay, Tyrese, look at the video. When you're absent, you look at the video.
All right, sir.
The upper value or upper limit would be your highest number. So Vion, what is Vion? This is your question. What is the upper limit of the fifth interval? Vion. What is the
Upper limit?
upper limit of 59? So Tyrese, what would be the lower limit of the fifth interval?
55.
55. Right. So that is what we did last day. So now we started off looking at the last thing I want to look at today in the closing hours of this class. We have 5 minutes, is to look at boundaries. Now, let me make this quick by just saying we can calculate our boundaries. Get your calculator, people. I was going a long way to work out boundaries, but because we only have 5 minutes, I'm going a short way. So your boundary represent how low or how high. No, so we're going beyond the limit. But I would show you how to quickly calculate your class boundary. Did I give a definition? A boundary, how low you could go or how high you could go. So your boundary, let's look at the second interval. Your class boundary is equal to, this is for the second interval, it will be 39 plus 40 divided by 2. Could somebody tell me what is that? 39 plus 40 divided by 2.
59, sir.
59.
39 plus 40 divided by 2.
59, sir.
59. Oh,
Let me try that. 39 plus 40 divided by 2. Oops, divided by 2. I'm not getting 59. I get in 39.5. So this represents our lower boundary, how low you could go. It
yeah,
comes,
so I get a.
oh, because I want to know what
I
this,
think they put it in wrong.
yeah, 39 plus 40 equals divided, so that's 79 divided by 2. All right. This is the lower boundary for the second interval. It means that if I have 39.50, $39.50, it is still approximately $40. Everybody agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Right. And what I was saying last class is once it's 5 or more, you could add 1 to this whole number and get 40. So the lowest boundary is, let me put it in red, is 39.5. The highest you could go is 44.5. But there's a little trick about the 44.5 because 44.5 is really 45. However, in statistics, we do not include, even though the 45.5 is the upper boundary, we really don't include it. And we'll talk a little more about that on Wednesday. It's your holiday, so I don't want to keep you. Now, the lower boundary for 45 will be 44.5. So if I add 1, I'll get 45. And the upper boundary will be 49.5. All right, so let's ask some people. For the fourth limit, Theodora, what do you think will be the lower limit? Theodora, I know you just came, I'm not sure if you were here last class.
The lower limit, our number.
How much would it be for this one? For the 50? It will be 49 point what?
5.
5. And the upper limit will be 54.5. Upper boundary. So these are the boundaries we work in. All right. Garcia, next one. Garcia, so it will be what? 54.5. And for the upper boundary, it will be 59.5. So everything, so it's always a 0.5, everybody. It's always 0.5. Jedediah, last one. So the last one, Jedediah, it's 59 point. Jedediah. Kiara. The lower
59.5 and 64.5.
64.5. All right, so I'll explain a little. Oh, and number 1 will be 34.5, and this will be 39.5. These are called the boundaries of each limit. All right, so it's a holiday, so I'm not going to even go any extra. Already went 3 minutes extra. So that's it, people. See you all on Wednesday. The first thing I'm going to do is to continue this. However, I'm going to give you a question, 2 questions, which is factorizing. Wait. I'm going to give you a question, 2 questions to do on factorizing that. Wait,